My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. Let's say thank you for tuning in. Today, it's getting close to this. I didn't even realize it. It's like Christmas time this week. These Christmas days and these Christmas gifts and these Christmas things and these Christmas songs and this Christmas stuff going on. For whatever reason, I just been questioning the concept of testing the spirit and checking for the fruit. It's like weird language to speak that way, especially for like nowadays. We don't really do not as many people deal with like growing stuff anymore. So it's like we're getting disconnected from what that actual growth is. Because there's something about I just want to go to I got a pear thing. I don't know what they are. They're not pears, but there's something pear in my house that grows. And I know something about these trees a little bit on just watching them year after year. They're always just giving and they don't really want anything in return, but they only just keep giving. And it comes back to keep giving just to give. It's not looking for anything from you. It's like, here, take that. And you go and take it. And you're like, cool, I could eat that. I could use that. I could replant that. You could do whatever you want with that to keep going with it. And it doesn't look back at you and say, hey, since you took that, now I need you to this for me. There's like no expectations. It just gives. And it's in reality happier to give more because the more that it gives, the more that's going to come back next year. If you don't take it, the fruit's going to rot on the tree. It's just going to go nowhere. Then it's not going to be able to, sometimes it doesn't even fall off. So it actually makes it worse if it's not giving. They do much better when you're able to take from it. It's an interesting thing. I want people to think about with this like Christmas season and stuff going on, because things have gotten weird that it's turned into like gift giving, where I understand the concept is good if your heart is right with it. You're just giving because you want to just give. But unfortunately, there's a lot of trickery going on nowadays. That gifts that people are giving to you aren't really a gift on just they want to give. They're looking for something in return from it. Like you got to do something. You got to say something. You got to provide them something for that gift that they're giving to you. It's not just to take it and I'll bless you. You're all good. Everything's fine now. That's something I would want people to, that's the concept of test the spirit, to really see the people that are around you right now, what they're actually doing. Are they actually there to just give, to put a smile on your face just because for you? Or are they there to give to kind of like 4 months from now, hey, remember I gave you that, so I need you to this now. That's something that we should always be testing out, what's going on in our world and what's happening, and making sure that what we're accepting from people is a true gift and not like a payment, not a loan, but something to just accept and just move forward. Because there's something that I just see that's challenged me my whole life. I come to see. I've accepted gifts in a way of the words I want to use is an apology. Somebody would give me stuff, a lot of stuff, bunch of stuff, in a way to say I'm sorry for what I've been doing. And again, that's manipulation, but that's not giving just to give. If you're sorry about something, you just say it straight up to that person, not trying to beat around the bush with what's going on and what your intentions are, but just say it. Hey, this is what's going on, and I just want to apologize to you. As with being something, this is just my personal life that I'm speaking of just remembering myself as a child, even on a lot of this gift giving stuff. And I know I'm not the only one. Other people have been through a lot of the same stuff that I've been through. It can come down to the fact of someone is laying hands on you, and then they just come and buy you and give you something to try to like make all that just disappear. And then you kind of get excited because like, ooh, this cool, shiny new thing. And it makes you forget about what was actually going on because you get consumed in this new, like, this thing that's there in your face now. That's stuff that I would want people to really test out in your life, because that can really expose who the people are that are around you or what their actual intentions are for you. Simple to me to understand that. I don't know why today, but I've always just say accepted stuff from people and not even really question it, what like the motives behind it were. Because in reality, in most cases, we all live this lanes of you believe that everybody thinks and does the same way that you do. And that's just not true. I don't know why it's not true like that, but it's not true. And it's really unfortunate. But the more that I started to really pay attention to the styles of the gifts and the gifts that were coming to me, the more I started to really recognize like there's different categories of what's going on here. And depending on that person, what they see and seem to be as valuable, someone may be doing things to just keep on trying to sabotage you, to keep putting you in a position that makes you very vulnerable, that you almost kind of like feel guilty to be able to get away from, because you would feel bad of like wanting to basically reject something that somebody gave to you, and or accept it knowing that you don't have this thing in your conscience of like you have to do now because they gave you this. That's the part of me of personally, I just don't like to have a lot of folks in my life, because a lot of folks kind of just are about that game, about that manipulation. I did this for you, so you got to do that for me. And that's the thing of why I'm always, especially, you preachers, pastors, ministers, priests, all these guys, they are straight up to be held to a different standard in reality based on what they do. And I'm always watching that from these people, because that's where I see that the churches in reality failing the most. They want you to give, but they don't want to give you what you're looking for. They want to keep taking, but they don't want to give you the information that you actually really need to get into a better place, the real help that you're looking for. But they want you to just keep giving. And then you get stuck in that loop of thinking that if I do, then stuff's going to come to me. And no, that's not the way you give, because you're playing that game of I did, now you have to. No, you should just give to want to. Nothing behind it. Nothing behind it. That's one of the biggest confusing things that I hear from a lot today, even in the churches. You broke, that means you're not tithing enough and you're not giving enough offerings. That's manipulation to the fullest core of what manipulation is all about. Telling you to give so that you'll get more back in return. That's such a negative way to live. And it's weird to me that we have said religious organizations on this planet that treat us this way and talk to us this way and force you to believe that that's the way that this life is. That if stuff's not coming to you because you're not giving enough. Straight up, stuff's not coming to you because you're not giving in the right way. Most folks are like looking for that miracle, aha, there it is. It's just so perfect. It's so amazing. It showed up for nothing. Straight up, nothing comes for nothing. We're doing stuff to get stuff to come to us, but not because of we have to or else. That's the language. I don't know what it is. I just can't stand that language in my life no more. You better do this or else. Or else what? Or else what's going to happen? Or else you're going to go to hell. No. Or else something bad's going to come and happen to you. No, that is a horrible way to live on these lands. That's living under an extreme amount of fear. That's putting you in this extreme level of control that is so toxic. It's so damaging. It's so destructive. And that's what, unfortunate, most of us are living under right now on this planet today, with these ideas that you have to or else. I can see why, like, there's just push to just keep doing what the world is doing. It forces us further and further into control, to be scared and fear. That's why we got dogs today that are scared and fearful people. We want to blame it on genetics, but we can't blame like the most on that. There's going to be the 1 or 2 dogs out of the 1,000 that's going to just have this weird anomaly. But when it's like 80 or 90% of them, there's something else going on. And it's the reflection that I see that's with us, that we're putting out there, that we're so scared, we're so under just this extreme amount of control that we're not sure what to do. And the dogs are just showing that to us. The more that I don't know how to say this without making it sound messed up, but just like, because it sounds messed up if I use it in the wrong sense. The more I just gave up on the world, literally just quit, said, whatever comes to me, comes to me. Whatever I feel like I just want to help out with, I just help out with. And whatever comes, so be it. That's my life. If all of a sudden I get this music deal and all of a sudden I'm going on, then it's like, okay, that's what came to me. It's good. I'm just going to go with that. But then if they're like, hey, I need you to do this, to spread this message, to do this, no, I got to be me. That's the biggest part, that I can't push someone else's message. I got to only talk about what is in my heart to talk about. I don't even want to use that word heart. It's in my gut to talk about. That's where it really, everything in my body really is getting more in tune with. It's this area. The heart, that thing be beating him. It in my opinion, it straight up be lying, because it's living in fight or flight mode of this world. It's danger. But you got something in your gut that's way more powerful, that just speaks just very clear of letting you know what it is that you should and shouldn't do. It's very clear, because your mind is thinking it through, and your mind is more likely going to mess it up. But there's something in, all I can say is the gut that's in us, and that feeling that's just going on in there. Everything's happening. If you got issues always happening, you're always sick, you're always nervous, you always got something happening, you're nervous, you're worried, you're anxious, you got all these problems going on. When you stop being that, you're going to notice that your body is going to like start to regulate itself to be good to go. You're going to start eating right. You're going to start drinking enough. You're going to start doing everything. You're going to start exercising right. When all the little fears and the insecurities and all that stuff starts to disappear. But we keep getting more and more of that because we don't know how to just let it go and just like quit. Just quit. That sounds bad in the wrong sense. You're not just giving up on life here. But quit the, can you get down? Just quit the trying to fight so much to be and do what other people are and what they're doing. And just be you and represent you and carve your own path in what you know you want to be able to do on this planet. It's like the world from day one. All these holiday things, it's always about, what are you going to give me and what do I got to give you? It's like we're primed from the tooth fairy even. I got to get a tooth to get me, what, I don't know what age you are yet. Was it 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5? I think it's 5. 4, 5, 6. You start losing teeth. We're already primed at the age of 5 to know I got to give something to get something. And it's just this back and forth thing. As opposed to it just being, let me just give. Let me just give. Let me just get a random text. Let me just give to see them get happy and them be able to get into a better place. Them be able to just have that without me putting anything on what am I going to get in return. Because that's the unfortunate thing that I see is what Christmas has come to. The short amount of time that I've lived on this planet, just watching it evolve and watching the numbers and the stats of like all the credit card companies and how the boom, like it's a guarantee that you have to buy somebody something and they have to buy you something. I stopped playing that game. So anybody that watch my videos that know me and I haven't got you nothing in like the past 10 years, I ain't got no one nothing. I'm not playing that game. I'm not playing the game of I'm going back and forth with this stuff. I'm playing the game of, if I want to give you something, I'm going to give it to you on that random time that I'm thinking about you, and I got that, and I gave it to you. There's a few people that's got stuff like that for me, and that's it. There's no expectation here. I just got it. It's not a specific day that I have to force myself to just be happy and be good and be sharing and want to act like I'm caring more. It's just messing folks up. Driving folks into more and more control that we have to like, because they bought me this type of sweater, I got to buy someone else. Even what's crazy, especially here in the States, is like you got to like one up that gift. If they got you a car, you got to get them 2 cars and a boat. If they got you a boat, you got to get them a yacht and you got to get them a mansion. Like you got to do more than what they did to only mess your own self up. In reality, you're only hurting your own self. And then you're going to be looking at all that, even if you got the cash for it, cool. But most cases, no. You're gonna look at that debt later on, and it's gonna be lingering, sitting there. And then that's what's kind of lingering, sitting in your brain of like, well, now they need to do something for me because I got this now. I got this, and I did this for them, and it's still with you 4 years later because the credit cards is just going up and up and up. So you're just looking at it, get growing and growing and growing, and it's like you're needing, forcing others to have to do for you now because you're in this jam because of how kind, so-called kind, you were being to try and get someone to basically like what it is that you just did for them. I don't know. I seen a video the other day that just really got in me. Some girl and a guy that was like, he got her a birthday gift. And she's just looking at it like, this isn't for me. This is stupid. And that's crazy because I see that from so many people. You're not happy with the gift that someone gave you, and they gifted it to you. You have to do nothing for it, and they gifted it to you. That's to the core right there. What that word means is that's a hardcore narcissist right there that will want to reject something that somebody did for somebody, saying basically, that's not good enough. Wouldn't you want to treat me better than just that? That's like the holiday things are just getting worse and worse with that stuff. Worse and worse with creating us to just be on this tit for tat with each other, as opposed to us just freely giving just because we want to. Thank you. Y'all good. You can get up. I appreciate you. Okay. You stuck on that. Okay. So it get complicated with him with my release word of okay, because her name is Opie. So before, when I would say O, he's already primed to like listen to the O, and he's like, I know that K is coming. So it took him a little while to actually, because now he gets stuck. He's like, I have to say O. Hold on a second. He done knocked my thingy over. It took me a second to be able to. I don't know if I'll be able to fix that or not. Let me see. I probably won't, but whatever. It took me a second to be able to get him to like not listen to the O, but listen to the whole. It actually is pretty. Man, this camera's pretty legit. It can like automatically fix itself pretty darn good. This thing is fascinating, but uh. So it took him a little to get stuck in his brain of listen to the O and to the K, and not just the O. And then now he's like stuck. He stays frozen. I have to like specifically say okay. And he's like, all right, I can move. It's just the coolest thing with this dog. The biggest, I guess, transformation that I've seen with him, with just giving to give, and not worrying about what it is that I'm going to. Opie, we're good. What it is that he's going to be able to do for me, and now he just gives me. He just wants to please me so much at this moment today, and that's why he listens so clear and so in tune with what it is that I'm asking for him. And he gives me very minimal pushback because I just said, hey, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? This is something that dog training word would say, don't let your dog look, because then they're going to act. I like my dogs to look at random people moving, because it allows them to see and go through those emotions and realize there's nothing to worry about here. We're good. That just kind of goes against what most people say. But for me, I've got extreme great success by doing what just happened there. He's looking at folks. They're just like, and I let them stare. I let them stare. I let them stare. I let them build. I let them build. I let them stare. I let them stare. And I would just sit here with the leash if they wouldn't want to stay with me, and just wait it out. And it just gets past it, past it, past it, past it, past it. But that's me not putting any expectations on how he needs to be. Just saying, you just stay here with me. And then through time, that's where, I don't know what it is, but especially this dog, he really starts to please me more and more. He just looks at me and just says, hey, buddy, I want to do everything for you. I'll listen to everything that you're asking of me, because I'm listening to him what he wants. My question of, do my dogs really want to just do for me because of what I do for them? I still don't believe that to be true, in the sense that because of what I do, now you want to listen. I believe it's true in the sense that because you just give just because, that's the world is going to come back and give you just because as well. Not because you gave, but just because. That's just, some people say it like the laws of the land. It's just how it works. I don't want nothing from them. I'm not expecting them to be perfect. But yet now, since I'm looking at him like that, he wants to be more, said perfect with me, just because. It's weird.